Hey guys, Simon Hayes from Carlson Gracie London here. Welcome to my Smash Pass tutorial series. This is the Smash Pass that I've used from white belt all the way through to black belt, and I've always erred away from giving away the details in an instructional. My Smash Pass can be seen in competition setting on YouTube, but I didn't really want to give the details away while I was still actively competing. I'm a Master 4 now. I've decided that it's time to give the details to a younger generation so you guys can hopefully make the Smash Pass your own. Perhaps you're going to add your own details to it. A bit of background about the Smash Pass. I learnt it originally as a 3-month white belt with Royce Gracie. Royce was doing his first seminar in the UK, being assisted by Mark Walder over at Simon Yeo's dojo in Fulham. Me and Dickie turned up there not knowing what to expect. Obviously, Royce was a huge name from his UFC success, and he taught the Smash Pass. And luckily for us, Mark Walder, who'd been training with Royce for months and months in LA and was doing the seminar tour, stayed with me and Dickie while we were training the position, while Royce walked around giving details to everyone else. And Mark really fed in all of the details that we were missing, made sure that we were doing everything correctly. So thank you to Royce and to Mark. I then took the Smash Pass back as a 3-month white belt to Carlson Gracie London and started passing people's guards whose previously their guards were unpassable. So I started having great success immediately. Wilson Jr., my instructor from Carlson Gracie, started feeding in his details, giving me his Carlson Gracie perspective on posture with the Smash Pass. I then did a lesson with Maurizio Gomes a little bit later on, just when I first got my blue belt, and he gave me a couple of details, having seen me using the Smash Pass and perhaps corrected a couple of little issues with me. And then something happened when I was halfway through blue belt. Braulio Estima came to Carlson Gracie London, taught a few classes, saw the Smash Pass and asked me why I wasn't doing the submission. I said, what submission? He said, well, the paper cutter submission. And he showed me the paper cutter submission, which changed the game completely. So really, my Simon Hayes Smash Pass is a culmination of details from Royce Gracie, Mark Walder, my long-time instructor, Wilson Jr. at Carlson Gracie London, and Braulio Estima. So thank you to those guys. Hopefully, I can now pass on these details to you guys, and you can make the Smash Pass your own and start to have great success with it. I'm here with my Uki, Billy Hayes, who's going to be giving me a hand today, and we're going to look at number 1 of the Smash Pass series. Okay, so Billy puts me in his closed guard. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the hand in the collar here, okay? Always a good place to start the Smash Pass, because obviously the guy's going to be trying to climb his hand in there, trying to get a nice collar choke. So from here, 2 hands on 1, as usual, okay? Not showing which downward stroke is going to remove the grip. Up, down, up, down, up, down, using neck and shoulders, not just triceps. And then what I want to do is I want to push my knuckles into his forearm there. Now, this is important. My 4 fingers are going to go inside his lapel, okay? Just going to move that. 4 fingers inside so that my knuckle, my center knuckle lines up with his Adam's apple. Never thumb inside. That doesn't give you what you need. You want to go 4 fingers in and knuckle lined up with the Adam's apple. This hand is very important. It's going to push and pull, push and pull. All good jiu-jitsu techniques require pushing and pulling. This Smash Pass is no different. So from here, the first variation of the Smash Pass is one that I will do which has the least risk of being swept or getting underhooked, and it's something that will work generally on people the same height as you, someone who doesn't have much longer legs than you. So from here now, I've got my grip, which is locking off his arm there. I've got my 4 fingers in there with my knuckle facing his Adam's apple. Now from here, I'm going to put one knee in his bum and the other knee out to 9 o'clock. From here now, you can see that my posture is not very good. So when I reach up to break open his guard, I'm going to pull on this lapel to make sure that my posture is good. So I'm going to put my hand up in the air and my posture is good. You can see it's perfect there, okay? So to put that in perspective, let's just look. If I reach back and my posture is bad, watch what's going to happen with Billy's triangle. So you could see there that Billy was very, very able to get a triangle immediately. Let's look at that again. My posture isn't good, and when I reach back, Billy will immediately triangle me. So what I need to do, when I reach back, I'm going to pull him towards me so that I can sit up straight. Billy, try triangle. There is no triangle there. Watch again. I pull him with me as I reach up. Triangle. There is no triangle. So, this is what we're going to do. Instead of coming back here like this and then trying to break open his guard, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to break open his guard like that. I'm going to come up with my hand and down fast so that I get momentum. So up, down, and then left hook there. Okay? So let's look at the way that that works in real setting. So we're here, up, good posture, down, left hook, and you can see the way that I've immediately come up off my knees and I'm making him eat his knee. I'm making him eat his own knee. I'm keeping pressure on him. And while I stay straight on, you can see this hand here is going to walk up his neck. I'm going to bring the other hand out to the back of his trousers and I'm going to walk around, walk around, walk around, walk around, walk around, and then I'm going to look over my shoulder to side control. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with Billy's hand in my collar, which is where you're often going to find someone's hand when they want to choke you. Gives us an excuse to 2-on-1, remove and hold down. I'm pushing with my knuckles into his forearm now because otherwise he'll circle underneath, take his own grip, start to play his own open guard game, which is what we don't want. So when I remove that hand, I push down hard. I'm pushing hard into his forearm. Try and take your own grip. It's very hard for him now to get that grip. I've locked that off, which means that I can break the standard Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu rule of not putting my straight arm up into his collar here. Because to arm lock me, he needs both of his arms, and I've got one of his arms right now. So from here, we put 4 fingers inside. I'm going to line up my center knuckle with his Adam's apple, because that means that when I eventually come through with my other hand, it leaves a hand size gap on his lapel, which is perfect for me to take with my other hand. So everything is lined up and my hands are in the right position and I'm not scrabbling around. So we're here. From here, I'm going to put one knee in the bum, the other knee out to 9 o'clock, which puts pressure on his closed guard. And now I'm going to make sure that I don't lean forward when I try and break open his guard, because if I do, Billy's going to triangle me like this. So what I need to do, when I go to break open his guard behind my back, I need to make sure that he comes with me, because, don't throw the triangle this time, because if he comes with me, look, I've got great posture and I'm bringing him with me with this hand. So this hand pushes and pulls depending on what we need it to do. So we're going to put one knee in the bum, the other knee to 9 o'clock, and from here, we're going to go up with our hand and then down very fast, because if we try and just break open the guard like this, if he's strong, I'll never open his guard. But if I come up with my hand first and then down and then left hook, momentum and explosivity will open the guard where strength won't. So we're here, one knee in the bum, other knee to 9 o'clock, good posture, up, down, left hook, hand into the collar. And now look, I'm walking my hand while I'm still straight up, straight onto Billy, walking the hand up the collar until it's tight. Now my other hand comes to the back of his pants and I walk around, I walk around, I walk around. And only when I get 90 degrees do I look over my shoulder and I have side control. Let's have another look at that. Something really important, guys, is the moment I've broken open his guard, my knees are not on the mat. I come off my knees and push into him and try and make him eat his own knee. I want all of my weight to be pushing into Billy's hamstring to try and push his knee into his own mouth. If I'm kneeling with one knee or both knees, that is weight that could be making Billy feel crushed, actually going into the mat instead. So let's start with the hand in the collar. 1, 2, 3. Hold it down. 4 fingers inside. Knee in the bum. Other knee 9 o'clock. Up, down, left hook. Staying straight on. Walking up. Now look at my knees, guys. I'm putting him in a very, very difficult position. I'm now, once this hand is tight, this hand is going to go to the back of his trousers, on his coccyx, at the base of his spine, and I'm going to walk around, walk around, walk around. I want him to want me to have side control. Right now, he hates this. All he wants is for me to look over my shoulder and he'll be pleased that I've passed his guard, and he will give me side control very happily. Watch again. So here we are. You can see this time when I've got posture and he tries to triangle me, it's much more difficult for him to get a triangle. There is no triangle. Okay, so from here, let's start again. Hand in the collar, break the grip 2-on-1, push with your knuckles into his forearm so that he can't circle underneath and take his own grip and start to work an open guard game. Pushing away, try and take your own grip, very difficult for him. 4 fingers inside, middle knuckle lined up with his Adam's apple, knee in the bum, other knee to 9 o'clock. Again, it's really important now that when I break open his guard, I'm doing it using speed. I'm going to put my arm right up in the air and then use speed and momentum to break open his guard, not strength, because if he's stronger than me, my one arm isn't going to work against his 2 legs. The moment I've opened his guard, I'm going to throw a left hook, so it will become almost one movement, down, left hook. So watch, here, posture, down, left hook, straight in. Walking the hand up the collar now. Look, my left hand walking up the collar to go tight while I'm still straight on. Look at my knees. There is no weight going onto the mat at all now. All of my weight is going onto Billy. He's got 80 kilos crushing him. And then once I've got my grip tight on my left hand, the other hand is going to come out and go onto the trousers behind his butt to be able to control his butt, to stop him, firstly, from rolling out over his shoulder, and secondly, to stop him just coming and giving me side control too early, okay, because I may want to choke him. So right now, I'm going to walk around, walk around, walk around, walk around, and I'm not going to go for side control until I'm completely at 90 degrees to him. I want him to want side control. He doesn't want to be in this position anymore. He wants me to look over my shoulder, and now the pressure's off him, and I got my 3 points for passing. Okay, from there, let's now look at the choke. It's really important, guys, that you make your opponent eat his own knee. All of your weight should be going into his hamstring and trying to push his knee into his mouth. If your knees are on the mat, that is weight going into the mat that could be going into your opponent. So you never ever, the moment you've done your left hook, you never ever leave your knees on the mat. Okay, otherwise he's not going to get the full pressure. So I'm going to try and choke him this time. The important note about choking him is 2 things. Firstly, this first hand that comes in here, where I say line up the middle knuckle with his Adam's apple, what's interesting about that is, look at this gap here. It's exactly hand-sized. That's why I want you to line up your first hand with your middle knuckle going into his Adam's apple, because it's exactly right to take the second grip. The next thing that I want to say is once you've got that second grip, your hands need to walk up if you want to choke him. The third thing that I want to say is once you've got that grip and you're walking your hands up, you must stay straight on. If you start walking around to the side before you've tightened your grip up with your fingers working like a spider up his collar, what will happen is he will give you side control before you can engage the choke. So you want to set the choke up while you're still directly in a line with him. Don't start walking to the side, otherwise all you're going to do is get a guard pass, you're not going to get a choke, okay? So we're going to do the up, down, left hook in quite an explosive manner, grab the collar and still staying straight on, walk up, walk up, walk up. Only when your hand has walked up the collar as far as possible do you start walking around to the side. And even then, not as much as you may think. So put the hand in the collar, please, Billy. Starting always with that grip break there, because that's where guys are going to have their hands. Locking off his arm now, putting my hand up here onto his lapel, lining up my middle knuckle, putting a knee in the butt, other knee to 9 o'clock. And then from here, I'm going to reach up with good posture and then down and then left hook. Up, down, left hook, in. Now look, I'm walking while I'm still straight on. My knees are off the floor. I'm making Billy eat his knee. I'm walking my hands up as far as they'll go. My left hand comes here now, and this was Braulio Estima's tip for me, was to pull his butt up in the air. So now, without walking round to the side very much at all, I'm only at maybe 45 degrees, not 90. I'm now going to paper cut Billy. I'm going to put my elbow to the floor with a very tight grip on his lapel, and I'm going to pull his butt up in the air. That is the submission of the smash pass. Let's have another look at that, guys. Hand in the collar. Lock off the arm, 4 fingers inside, knee in the bum, other knee 9 o'clock. Reaching up and down and left hook fast with posture, otherwise you're getting triangled. Knees off the floor, straight on, still looking at you straight on, walking my hands up the neck. Now from here, this hand goes around to the back of the trousers, right in the middle of his spine, at his coccyx. And then without walking round to 90 degrees, because he'll have the ability to give me side control, I'm going to paper cut choke Billy, and I'm going to pull his butt up in the air. So I'm going to walk around a tiny bit, paper cut, butt up in the air, and there is the tap. Put the hand in the collar. 1, 2, 3, breaking open, pushing down, locking the forearm off, 4 fingers inside, middle knuckle lined up with the Adam's apple, 1 knee in the middle of his butt, the other knee out to 9 o'clock to put pressure on his guard, making sure that I have good posture when I go to open his guard, and that I used a lot of momentum and a lot of explosivity, because strength won't open this guy's guard. So up, down, left hook, and now look, this hand walks in, walks in, walks in, and I stay completely straight onto him. If I start to walk around to the side, which is a huge mistake that people make, I won't get the choke, because he will give me the guard pass to avoid the choke. I need to make him eat his knee. Look, I'm making him eat his knee. This is very uncomfortable for him. I'm now going to put my hand to the back of his pants, at his lower back, at the base of his spine, to be able to control him. And now my left elbow, which I'm waggling here, is going to go down towards the mat as I pull his bum up in the air. But I'm not going to walk too far around to the side. I'm going to pretty much stay where I am now. Here we go. And there is the tap. Now, watch what happens, guys, if you try and engage the choke while you're walking too far around to the side. He has an escape, and the escape is to give you side control. What's interesting here, another big mistake that I see, is people don't take that moment while they're still straight on to walk their fingers up that lapel like a spider up some curtains, okay? So watch my fingers walk up the lapel. I'll point it out when I do this demonstration. So here we go, put your hand in the collar. 1, 2, 3, hold it down. 4 fingers inside, lining up my center knuckle with his Adam's apple. Knee in the bum, other knee to 9 o'clock, and then I'm going to come up and down with great momentum, so that it's explosivity that opens his guard, not strength. You can't always rely on strength. So I make sure I've got good posture. Up, down, left hook. And now look, this is the point that I'm talking about. My fingers on my left hand walk up his collar while I'm still straight on, as deep as I can possibly go. This gives me the ability to choke him. Now, my other hand goes round to the back of his trousers. Now I'm straight on. I can choke him from here. The mistake that people make is, while they're doing the choke, they'll start to walk around. That gives the opponent the ability to avoid the choke by giving side control. This is the mistake that I'm going to show you now. So I go for the choke, but I walk around to the side as I'm doing it, and he's out. Okay, I got side control, I got 3 points, but I maybe going to have another, few minutes fighting when I could have finished him there and there if I'd have stayed flat on. Okay guys, so that was smash pass number 1. The details that I want you to remember about that is, firstly, that smash pass was designed for people who aren't much taller than you. It's the least risky entry, where it's very, very difficult for anyone to sweep you, okay? That's the reason why we're putting 1 knee in the middle of the butt and the other knee out to 9 o'clock, because it's impossible for our opponents to get an underhook. If his legs aren't that long, you should be able to break open his guard using the explosivity and momentum that I spoke about, where my hand shoots up in the air, shoots down, and then goes left hook. If you just reach behind you and start doing this, firstly, you're giving him loads of time to triangle you. The second, even if you've got good posture, you're giving him too much time. The second thing is, right there, you're using strength to try and open his guard, and guess what? It's one arm against two of his legs. That's not good jiu-jitsu. It's not going to work. You need to use explosivity and momentum by going up, down, left hook. And that kind of movement where you're using momentum rather than strength is highly likely to open his guard. Other details, remember that with the hand that goes in the collar, you're lining up your center knuckle with his Adam's apple. And remember that once you've left hooked and you've come in and you've got hold of his kip, then you walk your hands up his collar while you're still straight on. Remember what Royce Gracie always says, make him eat his knee. I love that. It works, it's so relevant. It's absolutely what you need to remember when you're doing the smash pass. If you start walking around to the side too fast, basically, he's not going to feel all of the pressure. And remember the other detail, guys, is the moment I've opened his guard with the left hook and I've got hold of his lapel, I need to come up off both knees. If one of my knees is on the mat, let alone both, that's a load of pressure, a load of weight that Billy could and should be feeling that actually is going into the mat instead. And it makes it a far more comfortable experience for him. And what we're trying to do here is make him as uncomfortable as possible. What we actually want him to be thinking is, just please, please, please take side control. Take side control. I really don't like being stacked like this on my neck. So I'm going to be following up number one with number two, which is what you do when the guy is slightly taller than you, like Billy is with me. So keep tuning in. Number two's on its way to YouTube. I hope you enjoyed number one, and keep following Carlson Gracie London. Thank you very much.